So, today I'm going to give you some heartfelt advice about your life. So, different than other videos where I just try to show you how things are. Now I'm going to give you advice.
Today I went to the forest to do my daily training. There was this seagull sitting on the lantern, and at the moment when he saw me, he started meh, 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 to me, like what my cat does when it sits in front of the window, seeing birds on the outside. As you can see, I filmed it, and when I put my camera away and I started walking, talking a little bit to the bird, he flew away and came back to the next lantern and repeated the same process, telling me as an omen for something about the day, and today by accident I didn't understand it. I was before, a long time ago, in Nepal, walking in the Himalaya, and I was doing a ritual before I went into the mountains as Daoists we do, and we asked permission for the local gods to allow us a safe passage through the mountains. At the moment when I went there, some bunch of crows warned me that a particular place, if I would stop there and stay for the night, I would get sick. And the next day, I woke up vomiting, having diarrhea. But I had to go back to Kathmandu, where I was going to meet a person, a princess from Kathmandu, from Nepal, that I was having an appointment with. So I kept on walking with soiled trousers and, well, everything. I listened to the birds, I understood them, and they helped me. Today, actually, the bird didn't warn me for anything negative. This was a seagull, this was not a crow. It was just talking to me, maybe. So I went into the forest and went to practice. I went to do my daily practice. I started off with my 275 form, three realm Tai Chi, no, three realm Kung Fu. You can say whatever you want. It has many names. At the moment when I practiced this, I started thinking also a little bit while practicing about my life path. I'm turning 60 this coming period, already very close to it. And this is normally the end of one life cycle in Chinese time measurement. And I have been comparing myself with other 60-year-olds over the last months, growing towards that age. And I've always, of course, because of my study, been very active in perceiving people's life cycle. Even having children, I saw as an opportunity to study this. Because when I was a child, I was being told when I was about 15 years old that I would not turn older than 40, 45 years old because of the disease I was born with. And I was well, going to have debilitating consequences for the rest of my life. So my practice, my medicine studies, everything was just to resolve that issue and to make sure that I live longer than that. And I'm now 20 or 15 years older than what I was expected to live. So I'm pretty happy. I have achieved more than I would expect. And every time when I see clients or I see people walking on the street and I can see what they could have done to make their lives better, I am feeling sorry that I haven't been able to reach more people. So, say this video is my 60 years birthday testament. When people are living, we are raised with the idea that we are going to be young, we're going to have a career, and then eventually we're going to end up debilitated, demented, and so on, and die. Research shows, though, all scientific research from modern time, that if we are taking good care of ourselves, it should be possible to live longer because we do a lot of things in our daily life that are causing all kind of constituents of our body to age. And that's a pity because at the moment when we are allowing ourselves to age, we miss out on a lot of valuable things. And just listen to this idea. What if you would practice for yourself your whole life, wasting a lot of time on that as you probably think, but if you would practice and you would age well and you would have a very short period of suffering before you die. So you don't even gain years, right? So you're only um, reducing the suffering at the end of your life. So this is a very important thing to think about. Taoism, of course, promises that you're going to live longer, and the maximum time that you hear about immortals is mostly that they are about 1,000 years old. When they become this kind of age of 1,000 years, then after that you don't basically hear anything about it. In the Bible, you find a few people also being named like being very old, like Methuselah. I don't know all these names, of course. And there's like these mortals, some of them become like 900 or 1500 or 1400. After that, it's pretty much stops. So it's not something like a secret, it's just that it's basically your human right. It should be in the United Nations that your parents, your school, everything should help you to not forget what is your biological right, namely to become very old. This is the paradise state, you can say, of human beings, is being able to live for a long time. This is what we need to work on. So how do you do that? Well, I made this program with tips and tricks for the different aging groups what you as a parent can use to share with your children or to use in the education of your children. But it is also, of course, very important to train for yourself. Now you hear about this video, this is like a warning post. Your life is going into a particular kind of direction, and just exercising is not going to do it. It is the way how you challenge yourself, and throughout life how you keep on challenging yourself and work on things. I will tell you some of the gains. Besides, like this week, one of my students told me that because of the breath yoga that we did, he had an accident with his bicycle and he was not hurt. We are training to develop a diamond body, and his training, he feels like, helped him to protect his body so that he didn't have any damage. I fell from a stairs one day and I should have broken my neck and my back, and I survived and I did my Tongwu Qigong, and it really helped me cross from being damaged very badly to whole in one day time. So these are not miracles, these are just capacities that we human bodies have, but they are the result of proper training. If you do proper training and still all kind of things happen to you, then your proper training hasn't been done very well. So that means you need a correction. There we go. So at the moment when you are exercising, you are learning to manipulate your body in a particular kind of way in your mind. One of the things that happens is that you're going to spend time on training. On the other hand, some things that modern science says, like for instance, you need a lot of sleep, that might not be true, because if you have properly trained, you have rested during the day and you're not exhausted at the end of the day, and you haven't got build up any trauma, so you don't need to recover yourself during the night. That means that you can do with a lot less sleep. When I was still training like 12 hours a day, then at that moment I needed only about 2 hours sleep. So that means that the time that I trained actually was my sleeping time, because I also felt very depressed when I started. That's past. So that's a very important part. On the mood sphere, when you practice properly, you're going to change. And at the moment, when you get to this point of being recognizing that you are changing, then at that moment also you start validating more qualities of your training. So let me help you for this for a moment, because I'm not saying that you have to start practicing 12 hours a day, but you have to start training with a plan. If you start with 1 hour or 2 hours a day of exercising or doing something useful, you very quickly learn techniques that you can apply in every aspect of your life, like washing dishes and so on. Try to make life difficult, not in the sense that you try to create problems, but do the things in a difficult way. Don't use the dishwasher, but wash the dishes by hands. Don't have a robot vacuum clean your house, but vacuum clean it by yourself. Broom it, swipe it, and so on and so forth. When you go shopping, go walking and carry your bags. Don't have a car do this for you, and don't have somebody order it so that it can be delivered at your house. So make sure that you keep on doing things by yourself, because all the nice convenience things that society is offering you nowadays, these are aging you, because you become more and more passive. And even though you think you have more time for the gym, when you go to the gym, you have about 40% chance that you're going to have a life lasting resulting trauma in your body that you cannot recover from. Physiotherapists usually don't help you to recover, your insurance doesn't help you to recover, all kind of things, they don't really help for that. But at the moment when you practice yourself, you are going to be your own doctor. You're going to be your own medicine person, because it's not just the exercising, it is also the theoretical framework. Western biology is very limited in its vision on the human body because it's based on statistical science. This is what most people do, this is what most people have as a result, so this is how we adjust our science. The science of Chinese medicine, Daoist medicine per se, is relatively absolute in the sense that they work towards a particular kind of ideal. If you don't manage that ideal, as long as you don't manage that ideal, you are going to be considered, well, sub-healthy. At the moment when you are considered to be healthy, that means that you can self-rely. At the moment when you share it with your family and so on, your whole family can self-rely. From research, it has been shown that if you are young, you have learned to practice properly. The genetic expression of your seed, of your sperms, your eggs, and so on will be better, so that the quality, the health quality of your children will become better. My children, from this day and age, because of all the biological changes that we've gone through science, it's not saying there it's not helpful at all, have been predicted that they could probably last until 120 years old if society is not having all the turmoil that we have right now, like climate change, economic disaster, war, and so on and so on. The only thing that they actually have to bring them to that point is their training. So I try to teach them all these kind of things, and I share this also, this process I share with you, because the things that I learn from them, they come back into my class materials, and that come back into my programs that I offer to you. Whether you want to follow me live in classes, or if you just want to watch my videos, or if you want to follow classes that are pre-recorded, I don't really mind. I'm always available for you to answer your questions. So, what I said, start with practicing 1 hour a day. Anybody who tells you you can do things with 50 minutes a day is just trying to make money on you, because you are living 24 hours a day, and if you forget 23 hours and 45 minutes to exercise, you are going to lose. So, this 1 hour a day is to help you forward in not forgetting to pay attention to your standing posture, sitting, lying down, and so on and so forth, so that you can maximize the functionality of your body. At the moment when you are eating, you have to all the time be mindful about what the food is doing to your body, and you should not forget the mechanisms of your body, because after you're full, 30 minutes later your body tells you you are full. So it takes 30 minutes to process the chemistry that is showing you that you are full. When you're exercising, you need to exercise at least half hour to let your mind realize you are actually exercising, right? So the proper way of exercising is a very important aspect. From this aspect, you can see that the proper timing is important. If you can practice 2 hours or 4 hours a day, that will be great. For people who study Chinese medicine with me, Daoist medicine, I tell them to reserve 4 hours of training every day for this simple reason, because they will see after 1 or 2 years working what a huge result of what a huge change of results they will have, and as a result of that, how much healthier and more vital they feel, and how much more able they are to do the actually really hard work of trying to help people with their health problems. Because making people healthy really is a very hard job. It is a job that requires a lifelong dedication. When we grow older, we can see that a lot of things become more difficult. More difficult doesn't mean that you have to do less, but it means you have to do more. When you go with retirement, you have more time to practice. Don't sit on your butt and go on holiday or anything like that. Don't go sit eating and waiting for your death, but go work on the things that are required to help you stay healthy and become more healthy. Your life is not going to be finished at that moment. You're going to be practicing till the end of your life. This is basically the message that this video has. To become healthy, you have to really do something. And at the moment when you really do something, you will reap the benefits from that. Life is not going to be easy for anybody, anytime. If everybody thinks like life is like a holiday, that would be really great, but really it isn't. Happiness in life is not depending on the amount of pleasure that you had, but it's depending on the success you have to live long, happy, and satisfied with the things that you have been able to achieve, or that you are able to carry that you failed in. Life is not about succeeding or failing per se, but it is about the way how you compose yourself in carrying these things around you. This is how you die. When you die with regrets, that is not a good death. So, to summarize my advice, just don't waste a perfectly good life. Heaven is here, but hell is here too. So, if you want to enjoy life, make sure it is good because of your actions, not because of what you see on internet. Internet is like a hammer, a tool. You have to try out several tools to find out what really works. Don't try to satisfy yourself with feeling good, but try to satisfy yourself with having good results. And good results are visible to other people, not because your face looks relaxed, but because you really physically change and mentally. Once you are able to control your health, you're going to be unstoppable. You can do enormous things. You're going to be able to fulfill all your dreams and your projects. I don't mean to have that nice car, but to make sure that the world is going to be a better place for the people you leave behind after you die.